So I've done a video like this about 3 years ago on my Facebook, just kind of like summarize my year. And well, I thought that would be the only time that I was doing it because I was doing something quite major for myself, just kind of like a self-transformative thing. But 2020 had been, um, look, I want to look at things under the positive light, so I want to share a few things that I learned in 2020. So the first thing I learned in 2020 was that I can actually save money. Um, Fortunately, I get to keep working, and I really reduce my cost a lot because I'm being very mindful of what I spend and things like that. So I not only I managed to pay off my credit card debt, I also managed to pay off my university fees, which is like I think many people of the millennial generation, of course, I'm one of the older one in the millennials, amongst the millennials, but I I find it really tricky to even got to a point to achieve the Australian dream of owning your own home. When we were younger, that we would look at our family or friends' family, 2-3 bedroom houses in the suburb, and then it's big and spacious with a front yard and then a backyard. Their complaint is about lawn mowing and things like that. But for people in my generation and maybe the one after too, that even get to the point that of having a chance of that kind of thing, it had faded so quickly since graduation. I'm not going to talk about why because we all have our own reasons. This year had actually given me an opportunity to reframe myself and reprioritize what I want to do. And who knows, maybe one day I can save enough money for a small apartment or something like that. I'll check out what the Victorian government or even the federal government is offering at the moment. So stay tuned, hopefully, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Well, a second thing that I came to terms with is that I'm not a very sporty person. Throughout my adult life, my entire life, that I don't like sports, I don't like activities. I had a little goal that I written for myself when I was 32 that I wanted by the age of 40 I'll have a six-pack abs. Never happened. I mean, I'm not 40 yet, but yeah, that's... Anyway, coming to terms with it is that earlier this year, before this first lockdown, I bought myself like some nice exercising band and yoga mat and things like that. I was even thinking about joining a gym membership, just like how I was living in Sydney, that I paid for 12 years of gym membership, haven't even attended about 12 times. I mean, I am their ideal customers. I must admit that in the past, when I'm really focusing on my body, it was really focusing on people that I date. Well, look, I mean, maybe it's time that I should present myself, my personality as is. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. And yeah, so, but of course, that I would say one thing is I'm going to try to develop a habit of having a little bit of exercises because, look, I mean, I like to dress nicely, but slightly ridiculous, because it fits me and my personality. But I noticed that after gaining quite a bit of weight during Melbourne's second lockdown, there's some clothing just don't look as nice anymore, and it's just being ridiculous. So I was like, 2020 had been a year where everyone's world is a lot smaller. It's so easy to have too many friends on social media, but when you come to terms with thinking about who they are, it's like, wow. Anyway, what happened is, at times like this, because there's a lot of time that I'm on my own, that I can reach out to other friends on a video call, on a voice call, or just really just sending a simple message, and just not only be kind to each other, but also be kind to ourselves too, and which reignite some of the other friendships. I also have found that there are things that I could have done when I first moved to Melbourne to keep in touch with friends in Sydney that I haven't made the effort that I wish I was doing. And if you see my 2017 videos, that I wanted to make an effort, but I made some effort, but not as much. And I am so grateful for all of these people in my life. And I'm still grateful for people who were in my life in the past, because I felt that they all contribute to the current version of me. But yeah, so I think 2020 had taught me to really find a creative way to make effort for people that I care about. But of course, once again, there are still people that you feel like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting year. It's been an interesting year. Yes, 2020 had been shit for me. I felt horrible, and it was really bad. I felt like I was living in a time capsule. I really like, whoa. But I want to look at things under a positive light. Look, not like an empty optimism that everything's great. No, but more like a cautious, cautiously optimistic way of dealing with things. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who's been in my life, and for the past 12 months, 2020 had been a difficult year for all of us, and I hope that 2021 will be a lot better. So working from home also is a good thing, because I realize that I don't need to spend that much money. I did a lot less eating out, cocktail bars, go out clubbing and things like that. Not that I won't do that, I enjoy that still, but I'll do it in moderation.